Hi and welcome back to my channel, Sunshine Lorena. So today I'm going to be doing the books and life tag. I was tagged by Victoria what Victoria read, so thank you very much. I'll leave her information down below. If you're not subscribed, go and check her out. She makes some really great content. And yes, I'll tag the original creator, who is Steve Donahue, as well. And yeah, it's a nice tag. Let's just get into it, into the questions. I've got my phone here, so excuse me if I'm looking elsewhere. Is at the questions. So yeah, let's just get into it. So number 1, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a normal person and 10 being the late Howard Bloom, how much are books and reading a part of your life? Basically a 10. I'd say a 10. Pretty much, yeah, a huge part of my life. I mean, I have a booktube channel, so it's quite important. I have a bookstagram account as well. Yes, I really enjoy being part of the book community online. Heavily involved, really enjoy it. Love reading. I basically read every day, unless I'm having like an off day, or I don't really feel up to it. I'm gonna force myself to read, but basically I read every day. It's a huge part of my life. I enjoy reading. Yeah, huge, like 10 out of 10, guys. 10 out of 10, obsessed. Number 2, where does your personal library stand right now in relation to the rest of your life? Do you have more books now than you've ever have? Has your library changed? Okay, so let's just break this down a little bit. So yes, I'd say I have more books now than I ever have. So yes, it's changed in the sense that I have more books, because we completed on this property the 4th of June with my husband. So it's the first time that we've actually owned a property. So before it was like renting, renting, and then with parents, etc. So I've never had I've never had my own space that's mine. You know what I mean? Like actually I own it. I'm not gonna be moving out of here anytime soon. Like I own it. So finally, I feel a little bit more comfortable with like how much books I can have. Still can't go out of control, because yeah, my husband would not like that. If I have a lot of books, and yeah, he would not be a fan if all of a sudden all the walls were filled with books. So yeah, there is a limit, but yes, I have a lot more space to have books, to store them, to display them, etc. So yes, like I got these shelves back in June, which are lovely. My husband got them and he built them for me, which was really great. Because before that we lived in a 1-bedroom flat and I did not have that much space, and I didn't have as many books. A lot of them were up in Scotland with my parents, but I've got them down now. You can't see the full shelves in this video, but yes. So I definitely have a lot more books. I feel like there's a lot more freedom to store them. And then the other part of this was your personal library stand right now in relation to the rest of your life. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but it's, yeah, I mean, this is the biggest my book collection has ever been. And yeah, there's a lot of books on there. So yeah, that's it. Let's just move on. Number 3, take a mental step back and ask yourself, what's the most likely first bookish impression a newcomer would have in your home? They wouldn't have that a big bookish impression, because this is the second bedroom, the guest bedroom. Now here, this wall here is a built-in wardrobe. So you come in the door there, so this is actually hidden from view. It was the space that made the most sense here, to have this here, and for the space that there is, because you couldn't do that much with the space here. So yes, so this is if somebody's staying over as a guest, then yes, they have this beautiful bookshelf to look at from the bed. Otherwise, in the living room, there is like a couple of small shelves that have books on them, but those books actually are my collection of books that are in Spanish and Italian. So I'm not entirely sure what kind of impression people get from that. I mean, if they know me, then they know that I study Spanish, and then obviously my husband's Italian, so that kind of makes sense. It's a bit multicultural, but there isn't really English books there, they're all here. So yeah, I mean, there's not a huge bookish impression that they would get. I mean, I always have like some books lying around that I'm in the middle of reading, etc. But yes, unless if they're staying over, they come in here, then they'll see there's a lot of books. I have an Alchemist quote right at the top, which you cannot see. So yeah, not a huge one. Because yes, I don't live my own, so I can't just like make the entire place bookish. So let's move on to question number 4. So, how often, if ever, do you clean or reorganize your books? So, as I said, we just moved on the 4th, we completed on the 4th of June. This wasn't up until July, I don't think I put my bookshelves up. So I haven't actually had the need to reorganise. I quite like the structure of them, and I'm trying not to acquire any more books. That's not gonna last long, but I'm trying to limit my acquisition of books. But as I'm getting new books, as I'm on hauling, etc., I might do a reorganisation, but there isn't one on the cards for quite a while because I'm quite happy with how I've done it. There might be a slight reshuffle. I do try and kind of run a duster over them every now and again, otherwise there'll be a build-up of dust. But I don't have like a strict schedule of when I do those things. So now, number 5. On average, how many books do you acquire in a given week? Well, that could vary. It could go from 0 to like, I don't know, like 10. I don't think I've ever bought more than 10 in a week. It really just depends. I think in general, I don't ever just, if I'm buying books, I'm never going to just buy one book. Usually it's because I'm in a bookshop or I've went to the charity shop and I acquire at least 2 or 3 at a time, but it's not like it's every single week. That's every now and again. So yeah, I'm not physically buying books every week. Sometimes in the Kindle deals, guys, you know, those can stack up. Those could stack up, the Kindle deals. In the beginning of the month, definitely when they have the new ones, I could quite easily acquire quite a few in a week. But I'm getting better at cross-referencing the deals with my library, the app for ebooks and audiobooks, and also Scribd, because I'm subscribed to Scribd. I always have a link there if you ever want to sign up and get 2 months free. I get 1 month free as well, guys, just saying. But I try and cross-reference so that I don't pick up, even though it's only 99p, I don't pick up an ebook that actually I could get from free from the library, or I can get it from Scribd, which I'm subscribed to already. So, to answer that question, it just depends. Again, guys, it just depends. It could be 0 to 10. I don't know if I've bought 10 in a week, but I'd say that would be like the actual maximum. So yeah, when I haul quite a few, but it's not all the time. And I've not actually stepped into a charity shop, guys, in several weeks because I will find books. So if I just don't go there, then I don't find them. That's logic. That is the logic of that. So yeah. Let's move on. Number 6. What song is your current earworm? Oh, I was expecting a bookish question. So my current earworm, I'd say, is "Stay" by the Kid Laroi and Justin Bieber. Whenever I hear that stuck in my ear. That is stuck in my ear, my head, sorry, like for ages. Yeah, it just seems to get stuck in my head. Yeah, definitely that one. That's the current one that just gets stuck there. I'm just trying to think what else. I think that's the main one. That's definitely the main one that I get stuck in my head. And Shivers, I think, could replace it because it's by Ed Sheeran. It's getting there. It's getting there. Then number 7. What percentage of your self-control do you retain in a well-stocked bookshop? That's a hard one. That is a difficult one. I mean, it just depends. Guys, I feel like I'm saying that so much. It depends on, I suppose, my current budget at the time. Space, you know, now I'm very aware that I just can't keep buying them in terms of space because I don't have that much left. So I have to be a bit more selective. But I mean, I do say 50-50. It can go either way. 50% self-control I retain. It can go either way, because it depends. Yes, you know, independent bookshop, sure, I'll buy books, but I'm not going to go absolutely crazy. But if I'm in a charity shop and then they have a ton of books that I want, that I've seen around, I've heard good things about, or read the back of, enjoy them, I will probably go more crazy there, because they're like 50p or £1 each, and then it just, money wise, it's more justifiable going crazy in the charity shop compared to like an independent bookshop, because I'm not gonna like spend like 50 quid, 100 quid in one go on books, you know. Whereas that in a charity shop, I could quite easily spend, if it's like the 50p one, I could easily spend like £5 and have 10 books if they had 10 books that I wanted. So yes, 50%. Then number 8, do you ever feel the need to take a break from books? If so, what form does it take? Yes, definitely. There's times where I'm just not feeling reading in general, or maybe it's the book, I need to take a step away from it. When I do, there's a variety of things. I'd say I tend to like maybe watch films or TV series, etc. Because I find that when I'm in a really good reading mood, I don't watch as much TV series and films. So then when I start to step away from reading, I have more time and I tend to turn to those things. You know, like binge watch like a Netflix series or something. Depends on the time of year as well, what I can do. If it's like nice, decent weather, maybe, you know, I go out for walks more, you know, go out and about, meet people more, etc. It just all depends on the situation. I am starting to learn to knit again, because I did when I was little, so I'm trying to pick that up. And yeah, there's various different things. It's like, you know, spending time with people that I love and care about, like putting more time into cooking and things. It just really depends, but I suppose the majority of it does go to binge watching TV series and films, not gonna lie. So let's just move on. Then number 9, when you meet a new person, how long does it take you to bring up books? So it's been a while since I've met like a new person, because, you know, pandemic. So I haven't been going around meeting new people basically. It just depends on what the situation is. So yeah, it just depends who it is, the situation, but I'm not like, oh, books, that's my personality. But it will come up at some point. It just really depends on the situation. If they know me through someone, then maybe already know I'm a bookish person, but it will come up at some point. It'll come up at some point, but I think it's not the initial thing that comes out of my mouth, basically. Number 10. Have you given any thought / made any provisions for your personal library after you croak? I have not thought about this. I mean, it's not something, when you're, you know, you're thinking about like, you know, doing wills or making any provisions of things that you have, it's usually like kind of property, money, etc. I didn't think about books. I suppose a lot of them, like I said, I've been starting to build up a bit of a charity shop collection of books, which, you know, I'm really enjoying getting secondhand books, giving a book a new lease of life. So there's a lot of them that, you know, they could just be donated to charity again, because my husband isn't like a big reader, so he could, I'd say, okay, first of all, let people that I know, like friends, etc., if they want something to remember me by, let them choose, because they know I'm a bookish person, so they can first of all have first dibs. So I think then, in which case, if no one wants to take, if there's books that no one wants to take, then I'd say take them to the charity shop. The exception to these will be my Alchemist collection here, because guys, this is my thing. I feel like everyone has a thing. When every bookish person has a bookish thing, like it's a book that they're obsessed with, they collect, or there's certain items for certain books. Everyone has it, and mine is The Alchemist. Okay, The Alchemist is one of my all-time favourite books. I've mentioned it before in here, and I collect them in different languages. So when I go to different countries, I collect them in different countries. So there's Spanish, there's Italian, there's Portuguese, there's French. I have a Hungarian one, I think, as well. When I went to Budapest, I'm sure I've got a Hungarian one, Greek, etc. I'm not going to go through all the languages. So I have a whole collection here, and as you can see, Let me bring you over. Let me bring you over. As you can see here, there's like actually 4 different editions that are from 4 different countries, but the same sort of covers, except this one really annoys me because it's the opposite from the other ones. Do you see that? The light's in the way. Do you see that? Do you see how annoying that is? It really annoys me. But anyway, for these, I'd kind of want him to keep them. I don't know. I feel like that is something to remember me by. Is those books. That's my thing. That collection is obviously gonna grow as well, but I'd kind of want him to keep those as like a memory of me. But the rest of them, I don't hold any sort of, at the moment there isn't any other ones I'd be like, you have to keep that. So yeah, I'd say open it up to the people that I know that want to, who are readers, who want to read the books, or they want to have one that remembers them of me, etc. But I hadn't really thought about that. I'm gonna have to tell him this information, and if I do, well, not if, obviously, not if, I will die at some point, and if I'm still a booktuber and you hear about it and you remember this video, make sure he does it, guys. He lets people get these books. So the final question, number 11. Are you known among your friends and loved ones for your weird and probably unhealthy relationship with books? Yes. Let's not pretend, let's not beat around the bush, guys. Yes, I am known as a books person, that I am obsessed with books, especially like during the pandemic. It's just when my bookishness is just when I have control. You know, I started this channel and everything, so everyone knows, like, yeah, I like books, that it's my thing, I'm obsessed with reading. But yeah, no, it's my hobby, I really enjoy it. It brings me joy, it brings me happiness, and that's what really matters, isn't it? I wouldn't continue reading if I wasn't happy. That's why, you know, I'm trying to be better at DNF and books and things, because reading should bring enjoyment. And that's it. That's my last answer to this question. I feel like this video is really long, guys. This video is really long, so I'm going to stop now. So, people to tag. I did not think about this before coming on here. People to tag. I'm going to say Hugo from Scientist Reading World. He's probably done this tag. He does tags all the time, so he might have done this one, but if not, I'd like to see him doing this one. Who else? Danny from Danny's Book World. I will tag her. I will leave the links to everyone down below, and you can like check out their channels because they do make great content. And I feel like I should tag a third person. Who should I tag? Who do I want to see doing this? And the third person I'm going to tag is Ashleigh's Media Addiction. So yes, those are the 3 ones. I'll leave all their links down below. Thank you very much for watching this one. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!